Although the Lands Between would have you believe Godfrey was the first Elden Lord, history has the peculiar habit of burying the truth deep below the surface. Before we venture into the Lands Between, here's a quick shout out to Aoa.com, our sponsor. If you want runes, items, armor, and weapons right now, you can get it from these worthy Tarnished, and by using the code in the description, you can get 3% off, courtesy of the Inhuman one. As the Tarnished traverses the Lands Between, fractured remnants of ancient ruins litter the landscape. Upon closer inspection of these fragments, we learn that these shards of stone are believed to have once been part of a temple in the sky. This temple was none other than crumbling Farum Azula, a city floating outside the boundaries of time and space. In the time before the age of the Erd Tree, the dragons reigned supreme. But even they had to answer to the ultimate Dragon Lord Placidusax, the first Elden Lord. Despite the lies the Golden Order cast across the Lands Between, Godfrey was no king, but rather a puppet with an axe who Siraj kept in check. Sadly, history tends to be at the mercy of the victors and is rewritten to fit their elaborate retelling of the alleged facts. The item description for the remembrance of the Dragon Lord reads, "The Dragon Lord, whose seat lies at the heart of the storm beyond time, is said to have been Elden Lord in the age before the Erd Tree. Once his god was fled, the Lord continued to await its return." If we examine the root of Placidusax's name, we discover the word placid means calm, serenely free of interruption or disturbance. A fitting name considering the inert state we find him in prior to disturbing his slumber. Although he had a mastery of the primordial red lightning, thought only to exist in legend, he commanded the tempests themselves with an unmatched grace that only ancient power could harness. In the Tarnished epic encounter with the Dragon Lord, we find that he is in quite a poor condition, missing 2 of his 4 heads. The Old Lord's talisman depicts Placidusax in his prime. It seems his latest battle cost him dearly, and his powers diminished considerably because of his losses. But what exactly happened to Placidusax and his majestic floating kingdom? The flavor text for the ruin's greatsword reads, "Originally rubble from a ruin which fell from the sky. This surviving fragment was honed into a weapon, one of the legendary armaments. The ruin it came from crumbled when struck by a meteorite. As such, this weapon harbors its destructive power." The item description blithely refers to none other than crumbling Farum Azula, the only citadel known to rest upon the clouds themselves. If we try and piece together a timeline of events documenting the downfall of the floating fortress, it seems that a yet unnamed outer god abandoned Farum Azula for unknown reasons. Without divine protection, a meteorite crashed into the kingdom and quite literally knocked it into existence as we know it, now sharing time and space with the inhabitants of the Lands Between. This presence was likely viewed as a potential threat, and actions had to be taken in the name of self-preservation. Grandsax, the legendary ancient dragon, rained calamity upon the royal capital, which marked the dawn of the war against dragons. Queen Marika's forces sieged the dragon ruins, and a series of unfortunate events took place. Godwyn forged an unlikely alliance with Fortisax. Godfrey single-handedly faced off with Placidusax and beheaded him, forcing him into slumber. And the dismembered head of the former Dragon Lord served as the centerpiece of the newly established Dragon Communion. Even in his weakened state, the great Dragon Lord Placidusax was a force to be reckoned with, as each of his scales was powerful enough to twist the rules of time and space itself, and allow a worthy blacksmith to forge a weapon capable of slaying a god. Perhaps by some great design, the primordial age of the Crucible was simply to serve as the sturdy foundation of the ages to come, for even the immortal Erd Tree proved to be quite fragile indeed. Who do you think the Stormlord worshipped? Was it the Greater Will, or something altogether different? I have several plausible theories about which outer god the dragons worshipped, and even who, not what, the meteorite may have been. but those topics are deserving of their very own dedicated videos. Be sure to let me know if you're interested. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out.